All right, cool. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Tattoo Collecting 101 on the Reinventing the Tattoo Network. Right now, we're beaming out to several different places. So if you guys are watching, just tag a friend in the chat or comment where you're watching from. Of course, positive reviews and comments are always welcome. Beyond some of these live shows, all of the Reinventing Network shows, art jams, drawing groups, panels, and webinars can be watched anytime or anywhere on our YouTube channel, website, and also our 24/7 Roku channel. This Roku channel is relatively new, pretty awesome. To find it, you can search for Reinventing the Tattoo on your Roku device to stream 24/7 content. We also have several weekly drawing groups and shows happening almost every single day. If you're watching, you're welcome to tune in or even hop on the Zoom call with us. It's really easy and fun to do. You can hop over to our YouTube channel to set up reminders for these upcoming events too. Otherwise, catch us live every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. We have skill building Sundays led by Jason Leeser. So we encourage you guys to bring something you're working on, or if you have questions about it, Jason's a really good source to get straightforward, honest answers and a judgment-free atmosphere. Monday mornings is our drawing for tattooers led by James Wisdom. It's at 9 a.m., followed by the Tattoo Weekly on Monday mornings at 11 a.m., hosted by myself, Gabe Ripley of Tattoo Now, and Jake Meeks of the Fireside Tech Network. Monday evenings at 9 is the Reinventing Evolution class led by Guy Aitchison. Right now, the second trimester is underway, so if you guys haven't heard about that, you can go to classrooms.reinventingthetattoo.com to find out more or to check out that new learning platform. Monday evenings at 5 p.m. also is Robbie Ripple's Let's Talk About Feelings, which is pretty cool. Episode 1 happened last week. Tuesdays at 10 is Tuesday Feelings with Ricardo Sturdivant, and Wednesdays at noon is the Tattoo Now show, followed by the Reinventing Business course every other Wednesday at 1. Also right here, every Thursday night at 6 is Tattoo Collecting 101. Beyond some of these like shows that you guys see us online at, we will be at more shows coming up this summer. At the end of July, we'll be at Tony Urbanic's Rubber City Tattoo Invitational in Hull City at the end of August. Before we kick off today, we also want to say thank you to all of our sponsors for helping us get this content out to all of you guys. We've got World Tattoo Events, the largest, most comprehensive resource for tattoo events worldwide. Also, thank you to Raw Pigments, an ink company that's tapping into the source with acrylic-free inks that have been impressing all sorts of artists. If you guys are watching right now, you can get 10% off of your ink purchase if you put Reinventing the Tattoo in at checkout. Also, thank you to Tattoo Now, Fireside Tattoo, and Apprenticeship Diaries. Also, we'd love to say thank you to Guy Aitchison, the founder and inspiration behind Reinventing the Tattoo. If you guys want to check out his Biomech Encyclopedia, DVDs, machines, and paintings, go to his website. Otherwise, I think that's about it. We're going to be hopping into our, I don't know what episode this is, actually. I kind of didn't check first, but what's up, you guys?
90.
90?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
The big 90.
That's cool. Well, yeah.
Episode 90. Here we go.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thanks for bringing us in.
Yep. See you guys later.
So today we've got a pretty cool show lined up. We have an awesome collector joining us. And then I think we're going to discuss the longevity of different tattoo styles and different things like that as we go throughout the day.
You're going to let me do that? This
Sure.
is a conversation you're going to let me have live.
Longevity?
I get to talk shit about tattoo styles?
Well, I mean, yeah.
All right.
I mean, every episode. That's every episode, Ben.
All right.
That's every episode.
No, I mean, not every. A lot of times we just talk about weed and, you know.
So we have Brie joining us today, and we've actually crossed paths a few times, but when you really caught my attention this year in Detroit, I believe, like there were specific details of your sleeve that just kind of like blew my mind, and Todd and I have been talking about it ever since. So
thank you
I'm really
so much.
excited. I'm really excited to have you on. Would you like to take a moment and introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me. I feel honored to be here. As a collector, it's pretty cool to have something like this to listen to and to be a part of. So thank you. I'm Brie. I'm from Kokomo, Indiana. And we have crossed paths a few times, I think, in Indianapolis, Columbus, and possibly others, but I'm not 100% certain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the best memory, so.
It's okay. It's the funny thing about like, here's what Todd and I have been talking about is like, so at Indy a few weeks ago, I look up and I see your sleeve on the screen and I was like, no way, she was here last year. How did I not see her tattoo at all? And Todd's like, isn't it funny how like you can pay attention to everything and you can still miss collectors, or you can still miss like collections.
Artists as a whole.
Yeah.
Wait, you were there?
Yep.
Wait, the whole time?
Well, it's so big, it's hard to see everything that's going on, you know?
Mhm.
Hey, Bobby.
Jay has entered the room as well.
What's up, Jay?
What up?
Hold on, Jay.
There he is.
He's always
Hey.
on some weird sideways angle of some gorgeous place. So, Brie, tell me about who you have collected from.
So I have collected from several different artists now. I had originally gotten a very small, not very well done tattoo back when I was probably 19 or 20 years old.
That's a lot
And-
of our journeys start.
Yes. And I didn't actually get another one until the start of my sleeve, my color sleeve, in 2015. And that's when I really started collecting.
So are we froze up or what?
Yeah, I think they are frozen, but you guys can keep the convo going until they come back.
Oh, yeah.
The
So,
internet sucks sometimes.
when did you do, how long ago did you do your back piece? Because
Okay.
that back piece is really impressive.
Are we back?
Yeah, you're back.
There we go.
There we go. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, we blinked out on you. I don't know what that was about. It said a connection issue. So.
No worries.
So sorry, I missed it. Who had worked on your arms? Your arm? Your colored sleeve?
So my color sleeve was with Maxwell Iggy from the Bohemian Tattoo Club. And then I had gotten a piece by other artists there as well. So I went. What was that?
Sorry, Todd forgets to mute his microphone sometimes.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm letting my dogs out, sorry.
You're good,
No,
Bobby.
that's okay. So we finished my arm and then we went on to a back piece and did some other smaller pieces across the side of my shoulder and chest, and then moved on to my other arm. And in the meantime, I also worked with Bradley Pierce on a custom design for a Polynesian-inspired tattoo on my leg. So it starts on the outer thigh and goes down to my ankle. It actually
Nice.
is what covered up that original long ago starting to get tattooed. It covered that up.
Nice.
So now I have all tattoos that I'm very, very proud of. And then after that, we went on with my bubble girl, or as I call her, on my thigh with Timothy Bohr. And once that was completed, I also went to Matthew Davidson, who's with Bohemian Tattoo Club as well. And he did my side pieces, both of my ribs and my chest. So I gave him all of the worst parts where I didn't sit the best necessarily. But we rocked them out and got those all done. And so I've also worked with Joshua Gallant. He attended Hell City this year as well. He is with Grade A Tattoos in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Wait.
Wow.
So I worked
Wow.
with him as well.
That's a lot of tattoos.
Yeah.
You said, sounds like in a pretty short amount of time, you've gotten a lot of work done.
Yeah, we started at the very end of 2015. I believe it was the day
Yeah,
before
you're
Halloween.
packing it in. You
Yeah.
are packing it in.
Just going
We've
for it all at once.
Got somewhere around 175-ish hours. I'm not 100% sure, but it's close to
Wow.
that.
I wish I would have had the thought, forever ago to log hours.
He did.
That's not even something I've even thought about keeping a metric of.
Only because I
now-
think it's been in a short amount of time. I've been able to kind of go back and think it through and how many
Right.
sessions was that piece. And so that's why it's a rough estimate, but
No,
it's
I
a
love
lot
it.
of time. I've spent a lot of hours with those gentlemen and we've become friends and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how like connected you get to your artists once you sit through like I mean, I feel like this is true for all tattoos, but especially like tattoos on your trunk, that belly, the ribs, the
Oh,
back. Like there's
yeah.
nothing that makes you both love and hate somebody at the same time more than getting tattooed on your torso.
It's
It's the worst.
Concur. We talk about it often about the immediate bond between a collector and a tattooer after you're out of that 4 or 5 hour mark. I think it still has a lot to do with not a lot of people will have that long of skin to skin contact with somebody. You share a lot of energy. You learn a lot about someone when they awkwardly hold your arm for see, it only took a couple seconds. And it's one of those things that you don't think about that people don't touch you like that. And when you've got somebody that is not just touching you, but putting their pressure and stretching your skin, and it's a lot of intimate contact that you builds trust real fast. And it's kind of awkward, to be honest with you, how fast it builds trust.
It's awkward how
In the
fast
best-
it feels.
no, just I mean, like,
Do you have intimacy issues, Ben?
absolutely. But like more of like it's the pace of which that happens is awkward. You don't expect to become that close with people that fast, and then when you're done, you're like, why do I love you? I don't know why, but like
It is crazy how that
Right.
happens.
It
It's one
is.
of those like just like another in the list of accidental gifts that tattoo collecting gives us.
right.
Like, you don't ask for it, but
Sometimes you don't
you
want
get
it.
you get those special. I don't know. It's just I don't know. There are certain bonds that are just different. Okay. Somebody who you
Just
have.
different.
Okay.
It's
like-
called trauma bond. It's called a trauma bond.
Absolutely.
Been
Well,
working
like,
through 'em
okay.
since 10.
For instance, I'm the kind of person where if you see me throw up, our friendship is now on a different level. Okay.
Very different.
Yeah.
That's
If
like a
you
certain
see that, we're on a
threshold that
different
you-
level.
that
Yeah.
passes.
When you see me like if you see me like cry, we're on a different level. Like I get emotional and I leak, but if you see me like cry, we're on a different level. And like if you're the person that makes me cry,
Fuck off.
You're on a different level.
yeah, it's,
Coming for you. Fantastic crime.
no.
If you haven't cried with your tattoo artist, there's something wrong with you.
I don't know. I remember one of my most like traumatic sessions. It was like I was so emotionally rocked. And this was the session where Ty and Adam were working on my chest, and they were right in like the solar plexus area, right in the middle. And I was just so overwhelmed. And I had just had one of those like epiphany soul rocking moments. You know what I mean? And afterwards, I was just so depleted. It was like I was leaning on Ty and I was leaning on Adam as they're like dragging me out, and my little feet are just like scooting next to me. Like I felt like I was almost being carried out like a drunk girl,
Right.
as like they're getting cold compresses and for me. And like, I mean, that's a whole nother level. Not many people have cavemaned me.
Yeah, very true.
So
Very true.
like in addition to all of those, like just the soul rocking moments that you have to sit through to achieve like what you asked for. You get
Right.
close quick. It's like,
Guys,
I don't know.
Kyle, real quick, can you switch to gallery mode?
Bond, can you do that on that one?
Maybe. Yes.
Too many people with computers.
There we go.
Yep, good to go.
Cool.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you.
I'm going to start playing around with some screen shares that I have kind of lined up for us.
Oh, lined up screen shares.
Super close up.
Bum, bum, bum. And can you please describe this work?
Yes, this was done by Joshua Gallant from Grade A, and we did this at the Chicago convention, I believe, last year in 2021.
Nice.
And it's just a kind of trashy, geometric, colorful, poppy, graffiti-inspired piece that was just custom for what he likes to do.
No, I love it. I
There's
love
the
the gradient
stencil
and
of
color
it.
in that.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of like the solid black backing, like whip shaded out. Like, yep, looks great.
Thank
Super
you.
dark, fans out. Yeah, I love that stuff.
Isn't that a crazy transformation
I
to
love
go
it.
from that simple stencil to
flows
the
into
bold,
the other one.
colorful?
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
my favorite is the hyper realism stencils because they just look like a bunch of puddles.
Like an old fuzzy TV. Do you
Yeah.
remember when TVs used to have fuzz? Do you remember
Yes.
that when it was
Yes,
like
Mom.
black? Do you remember that, Kyle? He's like,
No,
no,
I'm
I
not
remember
that-
when my Prime Star turned black though.
I have a CRT.
My TV sat on the floor and I was the remote when I was a kid. Oh, look how happy and pleasant you look.
I
Did
was
you
very
say you-
tired. It was at the very
Yeah,
end of the day and I was just chilling.
I bet.
Just out of it.
I bet. That's called the mode, people. If you don't know, if you don't recognize that, that's the mode right there.
The mode, like
When you're
the
in the
zone,
mode.
like the zone out.
Sure.
See, for me, I call that I've given up on life.
Just fucking finish.
I have
Yeah.
given up on life, and this is all I got.
It's out of body for me. It's like I'm not even there. I'm just looking down, going, "Oh, still more." Oh, that's cool.
I'm a real big fan of the bright pinks and whites and the new like candy pop look that's coming out. I don't know what else to call it. If somebody has a better name, tell me what it is because I don't know. But like that new style is
Very vibrant.
I very, very much like. Thinking about getting a bright pink tattoo.
It's just all that contrast with all the
I
colors.
love it.
That's what just makes it pop.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's really clean.
I think there's a lot of really cool things, like in addition in the background that make this piece really special.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of like the way it ties into the piece around it.
It's great use of
Those like soft tricks.
It's like a lava lamp kind of background going
Yeah,
on.
that's what I was thinking. I love it. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
There we go. Oh, we can.
Oh,
You got a
wow.
giant face on your leg too.
Leg face friends.
All the cool kids.
I've got 3.
Oh wait, I got faces over here too. I got
I
a
love
bunch of
that
faces
piece,
on
though.
my leg.
The trick that he did for those bubbles was just insane. I mean, they really do look like bubbles.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How they're like soft on the edges.
Yes, it's
Those
just
Those really aren't easy tricks. So like with a paintbrush, those are not easy tricks. So with a tattoo, those are even harder. It's just impressive when when we get to like enjoy how much time and attention artists pay to stuff like this.
Yeah, it's
How
super
long-
important and very much appreciated, especially from somebody who's giving them their entire amount of trust to do this on your skin that's there forever. And it's definitely a big deal. And most of them mean something as well. So that's also very important. Being the person getting tattooed, that artist also incorporates that in there for them. And I've always been super impressed with the amount of effort that they've all put into all of my pieces that I've asked for.
They look like they're all tying together so nicely too.
I agree. I think they've all done a great job of placements and helping me kind of pick spots of where it will kind of blend in the best or look the best with
Mhm.
the other work that I have. And it's much appreciated.
Yeah, one of the things I've always kind of sought out with my own collection is like cohesion. Like I want everything to look cohesive from one artist to the next. So like even if you can tell it's different artists, I like when you can't tell where one stops and the next starts. Like
Right.
I really enjoy that. Like just my preference. I really enjoy collections where everything flows like it's supposed to flow together, where they're not competing with one another, but they're like complementing one another. And it's really nice to see that when like everybody's got the same goal and the goal is a beautiful overall collection.
Completely agree.
Here's some of that torso we were talking about earlier.
Jeez.
That's nice.
Same. That super bright, super bold highlights, nice dark black background. Like I love the pop of that. That's amazing.
That negative space is so crisp.
Yep.
Gonna give you another angle.
Nice.
This piece was
I lo-
also done by Matthew Davidson. He did the Death Becomes Her Vial as well that we just looked at previously.
Nice. I love how it's hard lined, but still painter edge. Like it's still soft. Like
Yeah.
it's got a frame. It's got a bold frame. But then you look and it's almost a highlight between the actual. That's amazing.
Just gives it a glow to it.
I start spacing out while I'm looking at them.
I forget
I forget I'm supposed to
I'm
go to the
supposed to
next
talk.
picture.
So Brie, one of the comments you probably get all the time is all the colors, right?
Yes, yes. Everyone's very impressed with the amount of colors that I have and how they've held up over the years. But
Yeah.
I do take extra caution in not going into the sun a lot. And if I do, I make sure I have sunscreen.
Expensive skin.
Look at them bubbles. Look at that landscape within of daydreams.
No,
A picture and a picture and a picture.
pretty poor man. He does so many different tricks that people just. I can't believe that that was the first award he's won at Health City.
I
Your
was
tattoo, Brie.
surprised as well. I was so shocked and I was so honored that it was mine. But also taken back a little bit because I know he's attended that show for years and I was just very surprised to hear that. But this was a very special piece for me. I hope it was for him as well. I know he told me he enjoyed creating it and putting it on my skin. This was kind of to represent a free spirit and just things that interest me, and sunsets, and the dragonfly was for my daughter. And I threw some general basic ideas out at him and he was just like, okay, cool. Came back
Gotcha.
and we rocked this out. And it was just more than I could have imagined, better than I had ever
Well-
pictured in my head. And that's the magic of what the artist does for the clients. That's so impressive.
Yeah, I always think that's the best way to go about it, is just like come in with a loose concept and then just let your artist do whatever with that, because they'll make it work if you just give a couple ideas, throw them out.
Trust and faith. Trust
Yeah.
and faith.
Speaking of loose concept, take a look at this.
Boom.
Trust and faith.
Came out of nowhere.
That screams trust and faith. No, that's gorgeous.
Absolutely.
This was done by Bradley Pierce, and this was the Polynesian style inspired piece that we started with on my leg. And he freehanded this baby, knocked it out in about 5 hours, I believe. And I
Wow.
was so impressed. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And that was the first tattoo he was able to do for me. So of course I had to go back.
I love it. I've always wanted to collect something Polynesian, but I have so many ideas and so limited real estate. Isn't
So-
that the worst?
I'm thinking face for you. I
Absolutely.
think some face
Face?
Polynesian for you.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah. I
There's
think
more.
little-
Face Polynesian?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think so, Ben.
Yeah, some like big black triangles for you.
Nope. I don't see it.
I think it'd
I
work.
don't see it.
I'm just saying,
I
pull your whole
I
collection
can see
together.
you with it.
This isn't about me. But if
It's
there's
kind
so
of
much
about
to
you.
something- All the way to the footsies.
Here we go. We got some good process shots.
That was, I think, one of the only photos that might show the cover up. It's barely visible there on the foot and ankle. But that was also some freehand at the top there. And then he freehanded all over that cover up.
Boom.
Wow.
What cover up?
Tattoo? What's two? Polynesian's a good thing to get cover ups with.
Hold on. Wait till you see it all shaded in. We're not done yet.
Okay.
Hold on. Here we go.
Ooh. All right.
Super nicely done.
All right.
So I love Polynesian work that is like this, where it's like three-dimensional and like the layers come into and out of one another. Not all Polynesian artists think in different planes like that, but
Yep.
I love it. I love it. I love seeing it. I just love
it
it.
really
The
adds
motion
to
is
it.
supposed to like flat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love
It's like it enhances your imagination, and it makes those
Nice.
flows and curls look like they're actually growing and moving in space, you know, like ornamental scroll work, or, you know, it actually looks like it's got real grace and movement. Not that like flat all black Polynesian doesn't have that, but like when you add those soft, smooth like accents,
Take it up to the next level.
yeah, absolutely. It's like the best of both worlds. You've got like the tradition of the marks that are being made, but then you've also got this all the new creativity that can be added to it. And I think it's just a really cool, I think it's really cool when I see a nice mashup of like traditional Polynesian with all of these new techniques. I love it when I see it. I love it, love it. I should have been born with a third arm.
Wait. Oh, just for more
Should've.
tattoos?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, just for more tattoos,
Just
Todd.
for more tattoos.
Just for more tattoos.
We need skin suits that we can just, you know, take on and off and have
That
different
got
versions
Silence
of
of the Lamb
ourselves.
real quick.
That got real silence of the lammy. So what you're saying is we need to get a full dye sublimation machine and start making tattoo printed bodysuits,
I mean,
I think-
like the Green Man, but like full sleeved out.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Okay, who wants to go in 50% with somebody else and then give me about 20% of your profit?
I haven't even seen this one yet, but I love it.
Ooh,
It's the first
Wow.
time I've seen this one.
all right.
Thank you. That's a Grateful Dead inspired rose by Max Iggy.
I love the super soft yellow background.
This is how it started.
Just a stencil.
A couple of lines. Let me come back up and show you what it looks like again. So this is actually really impressive. While we're on it, I want to talk about how cool it is to have like, so each color of this rose kind of requires totally different tricks to get it to read properly without getting it like, without it looking like the rose was cut apart. That opaque gray in the middle that makes it look white is fantastic.
Yeah.
I just wanted to like pause on that because there's a lot of really rad tricks going on with this.
You're all about the tricks tonight.
Yeah, I like the tricks.
You're all about the tricks.
Well, have you seen her work? It's all so tight and perfect.
I wasn't disagreeing with you, Fawn.
Perfect.
It's perfect.
Perfect. So good. I mean, it's okay. Here's the impressive thing, Brie. A lot of times we'll see like a lot of collectors have a lot of work and all of their work is not of the same caliber or of the same par. And
Why are you talking shit, Fawn?
I'm not. I'm just saying it's really nice to see when a collector has taken the time to have like foresight
Absolutely.
and start planning her collection. Like obviously there was a cover up in there just a few photos ago, but
Just
like
one. Just one.
she had the foresight to like, whoa. And then from there, it seems like everything's just been growing and connecting and like, I don't know. It's just,
It's nice to get in with a good squad that takes care of you, that introduces you to more people that do good work and keeps you in the loop. And
Yeah.
that just says a lot for the community that you found yourself in. Like,
Sore back.
I'm getting there, Todd. Hold on. You're ruining the surprise.
you're ruining it.
That's excited.
Whoa.
Corey,
That's
come look at
sick.
this.
Come look at
Come look
the
at how
tattoos.
amazing this back piece
Come on.
is.
It's
I remember
all
when he
trip.
posted that and just went, wow.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
This is Corey Wasmond, everybody. Lean over further. Say hi.
I don't think you can
There
even
she
see
is.
it.
There's
It's
Corey.
blocked.
Hi. Look at that back piece. Holy shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, it's stunning. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
What are you guys talking about it? Well, we've got Brie, the collector here, and she's about to tell us the whole story of it. Oh, it's her? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. Yep.
I love
Thank
the
you all
purple
so
theme
much.
through everything. It just ties
That's
everything
sort of
so
like-
well.
It's sort of got like biomech in it too, though.
I
It's
was
like-
just
Yeah,
kind of
I was
circling
just
around to
staring at
that
that
little
part of
it
morsel
myself,
right
too.
there. Mm.
yeah.
But there's a lot of really cool, like in my own work and then in work that like I like to collect and wear. One of the things that's really important to me is like the warm, cool balance and contrast in a piece. And this is so impressive because you've got such bold yellows and oranges, but like it's almost like the purple settles in as a neutral, and then those blues are just so extremely cold and everything just looks alive and glowing. I just love it.
Thank you.
I love
thought
the
he did
water
a
down at the bottom
fantastic
too.
job with this. Just being kind of an
Many
abstract
hours.
idea. I want to say it was somewhere between 6 and 8 hour sessions. We worked on it at a couple of conventions. I think Devil's Hollow was one of them. Hell City in 17, I believe, was another one. We were back and forth all over the place with that one. So I want to say it was between 6 and 8 sessions total.
Wow, you've been to the
Amazing.
conventions that I've been to, and I just can't believe I didn't run into you before Hell City. Because I was at that Devil's Hollow.
Here's a process shot of it.
After I had done the cover up on my foot, I had 2 dragonflies on my foot for my children, and I had another child. So I needed another dragonfly. So once that was covered from Bradley, I had Max put those dragonflies on my back piece instead and incorporate it on that. So I would still have them, but just in a different place, and obviously much, in my opinion, better done. And then we added the broken sculpture just to kind of represent how people can feel broken inside, but there's still so much beauty on the inside that can come out. And so therefore we had the geode aspect in that as well.
I'm kind of going through these backwards. I should have jumped the other direction, but what a cool idea.
I love the melting on the face where it breaks off there.
I love the abstract and visionary stuff like this and like surreal stuff where it's like, it's almost beyond what could be real. It's more than just like, it's not just a tattoo of a thing. Like she said, it's like a tattoo that's like a whole story. Everything's got a meaning and a purpose, even though it is abstract. Nice.
Very awesome.
I really enjoy it.
Good stuff.
I like the idea of since you covered up the dragonflies on your foot, I like the idea of still incorporating that same original like talisman too. That's
Recreate.
something that like I encourage my clients to do sometimes. It's like, well, I mean, if it's still important to you, we could just do like a better version of that.
Right.
Like,
just kind of recreated somewhere else. and
yeah,
then
we can
use that
we
space
can
for
tell
something.
that same story. We can make that happen.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, but both my cover-ups are actually been incorporated in other stuff. Like I got Godzilla on my left thigh, and then the Crescent Moon is on my cover-up of Godzilla.
Wait till you see this. Are you ready?
Wow. Who did that?
Max Iggy did that one as well. That's on the inner bicep of my color sleeve arm.
Those golds are insane.
Always
Now, how
loved
many-
the robot.
How many sessions would you say you had in this area alone, if you had to, if you had to remember?
On this section, I want to say it might have been 2 full days. So somewhere between 6 and 8 hours on those days.
Yep.
And we might have just done a brief touch up at the end to hit some of those highlights and things when we went over my entire sleeve when it was complete.
Mm-hmm. How long did it take to complete your sleeve?
That was, I think, about 45 hours total or 48 hours total. That again was somewhere between like 6 and 8 full day sessions.
Okay,
Super.
now we've gotten to the one. So Brie, this next picture, Todd and I have talked about this tattoo because it blew our minds. The music notes.
The
The
negative
music
thing.
notes.
Yeah. Those are
And
great.
like when I believe I can't remember whether I think I was judging. I can't remember whether I was just walking around with my camera or whether I was actually judging. It all blurs together now. But anyways, like I asked how long ago this tattoo was done. And I expected you to be like 6 months. And like the skeptic in me was going to be like, we'll see how it looks in a few years. And when you said 6 years,
Wow. Yeah. That's
You win.
settled.
you win. It looks so good. These are not easy tricks to pull off. And then when you see
hold up
them,
so well.
yeah, when you see them years healed like that, it's gonna look like that the rest of your life. Like that's in there, and that was done very, very well.
Well, look, let's be fair though to the audience too. There are certain people that have skin that are perfectly designed for tattoos, and Brie is one of them.
That's fair. That is fair.
I've been told I
That
have
is
good
fair.
tattoo skin.
Yes, I've been told that by actually probably all of them have told me that, that my skin just tends to hold the ink and the color really well. And because I don't tan, and I'm pretty fair complected anyway, that it just kind of is a really good
Yeah,
combination for those color tattoos.
They are.
But yeah, that original one with the music notes was done in October of 15.
Wow.
And you
It
said the
blows my
nicest
mind.
things. I heard what you said on the previous podcast about it, and I shared it with the artist. He was so speechless. You all said the nicest things, so thank you so much for that.
Well, I mean,
Credit where credit's due.
yeah, when it's
Yeah.
mind
Hey,
blowing, it's
credit
mind
deserves
blowing.
it.
It's just
I mean, that
Yeah.
face alone too. I mean, I like how in the middle, it's like,
I'm still trying to figure out if it is actual skin texture or if he tattooed the texture of the skin on the face.
It is a bit of both, I would say. Over the years where
Just
it's lightened up slightly, my natural freckles have actually kind of come through slightly. So she looks like he tattooed freckles on her. However, those were mine.
Even
So
just
it's
like
interesting.
on the cheeks, it's almost like textured, and I couldn't tell if it was from where it was on your body or if it was how he tattooed the cheek. And
And
it's
that
on
is
both
how he
sides. And
tattooed it. Yeah.
it is
it's
amazing.
tattooed like that.
It's
Yeah.
Makes me want to just touch it.
Yeah.
No, it's noodled in there. That's
the drop shadow from the nose and that. That's just.
Yep, I concur. Okay, you
The
win.
center of the forehead too. I love that bit.
but like there's cool little touches that like these little areas
Uh-huh.
that are so thoughtful.
Which
and
just
like
takes it back to dark, like you're saying.
even though it's just an abstract area, there's so much thought that goes into putting this in here.
All the way up
And
around the left, like
yeah.
how it curves behind and gives it the whole cast, that gives it the availability to have that light.
Mhm.
Like without dark, there's not that bright pop. And it's just really, really well placed. The flame down on the bottom gives the chin the glow. Like it's, yeah.
Then the
bananas.
Twilight
I
Zone.
just love that glowing bubbly kind of stuff going on up there on the top. That's
That's so
awesome.
Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone
Yeah.
with the hot color. That'd be Twilight Zone.
I have to fess up here and admit how awful of an idea I gave him to start with and how he created this beautiful piece out of what I gave him. And I had several ideas for my arm in general, and they could have went in many places, but he kind of incorporated several of those ideas into this one place. And then this came out of that, and just the science and the space and the DNA, and you've got the reflection of the earth with the tree and the eyeball. It is just so detailed. And I was so impressed with how he put all of those ideas that I had into that one piece. And I have a small forearm, so the fact that it all fit in there too is great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's
but that's
true,
an,
too.
that's
We haven't mentioned that either. You're not a big girl. You're very petite, and your arms are not very big.
My
It's
arms are very
really-
small. I have zero muscle. I don't think anywhere on my body, and I'm about 5'3.5" and maybe 115. So my
You know, they
my
short
real
when they throw
estate
the
is
half
not
in.
very much.
we claiming that. No, to have that much packed into a small compact, like that's makes it even that more impressive.
Yeah.
I love that the pieces stood out alone as we were going through the process of creating the whole entire sleeve, and how they looked so rad even just by themselves. But then when they were flushed together and he made it all one, it was just brilliant as well. Super impressive.
Yes.
oh, here's one of those crazy stencils Ben was talking about earlier. Here we go. Oh,
Okay.
oh,
Here's a
oh,
pile
hey.
of blobs and dots, and we're gonna make it
Static.
amazing.
Looks like just a bunch of letters put on there.
Are you ready? Faith.
Oh, my numbers.
Yeah, that requires a lot of trust to see that and not really see the vision. Man.
It's so funny. I remember like as we were looking at all the pieces on stage together at Hell City. Was it for the best sleeve competition, Todd? They had arm sleeves and leg sleeves together, and Todd and I were just kind of like the peanut gallery over off to the side, but it was like, like, does it make a difference that their body parts are like 16 times bigger than hers? Like, is that like, I mean, it shouldn't, but like, how does that, and
If
Where-
it dives down to that level, then
But actually, that should be
yeah.
a bonus for the simple fact is what little canvas she has versus those big muscly dudes that she was up against. I mean, that's
a
big,
fantastic point.
You get
You
extra
gotta, you got,
points.
you do,
Yeah.
you have to. Yeah, that sleeve. I mean, there's tattoos out there that I have a lot of respect for, and this is one of them. The sleeve has a lot of just so amazing at tricks in it, and that, and the way it flows and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool that you get to see the process of her doing it too. I like that, but
Speaking of process, here we are at Hell City.
2017.
So how do you enjoy getting worked on at conventions, or do you prefer to be worked on in the studio?
I prefer probably in the studio more or less, just because I have some anxiety, being in front of other social anxieties. So being around others isn't always the most comfortable for me. But I will say that at conventions is pretty fun. There's so much to do. There's so many things to look at, and it makes the time go super fast. Less time to think about the pain and sit and dwell on it when you just kind of people watching and looking at everyone else being tattooed and all the great artwork around you. So both are really great, but I think just on a personal experience, I would prefer being more in a private setting.
Yeah, I agree with you. 100%.
too.
I like
There's so
conventions.
many, but there's the setups are uncomfortable. It's never, you're not always going to be comfortable when you're doing it in that. At a convention, where at a studio, you're always going to be comfortable.
The biggest break for me is I don't want to be raw in a crowd. So if I have an open, exposed tattoo, I don't care if it's covered. I don't care whatever. I don't want to be bumping into people.
That's why you need a tattoo blankie.
Well, yeah, but still, like just in whole, it's not my favorite thing. It's just not my favorite thing.
That's fair.
Lots of juice in the air that day.
Lots of juice in the air. You
Some
know,
way to put it. I'm just keeping it vague. Yeah.
True.
it is a funny sacrifice that you have to make sometimes when you do get tattooed at conventions. Like, I'm not generally an anxious person myself, but I am, however, a pretty modest person.
Right.
I mean, homeless looking, but modest.
homeless. But miles.
And like when you have to just,
It depends on the show too.
it depends on the show. It depends on a lot of situations, but you know, it's one of those things that like, in addition to the cost and the pain, there's the uncomfortable factor.
Right.
Like you are so far out of your comfort zone and now you're going to go through this pain too.
And now you have to travel when you're done.
Yep.
Well, let me tell you how much of an awesome traveler I am.
It's
I'm
fun
a-
to travel with a fresh back tattoo,
I'm
isn't
an
it?
amazing
It's comfortable,
traveler.
isn't it?
God, oh, it sucks so bad.
And I was a cranky dickhole every time I traveled to get tattooed. It's not my jam. I want my pillow. I want my blankie. I want my super soft comfy sheets. I want my shower head that has all the magical settings on it. That's not going to blast my leg away. I want my broken old cocoa butter.
Hey,
It's like creamy.
I've had to travel to go for my tattoos. I mean, if the artists I want, they don't live by me, so off I go.
Yeah.
You know, and you learn to deal with it. I mean,
You're a
Oh.
stronger person than me, Todd. I've admitted this many times.
Jay, have you ever gotten a tattoo you didn't have to travel for?
Jay's just sitting in the garden having a sleep. Like,
No.
man of many.
I mean,
there are
from
many-
Thai, no.
Yeah,
I've driven
he
like a couple hours, if not
well,
flown.
that counts being home, dude. 2 hours counts as being home. We're talking hopping on a plane and going somewhere.
Well, yeah,
2
that's
hours
still,
from your house is local.
I would say that's still 15 sessions I've flown for.
so you've gotten brutalized on big scales and then hopped a plane the next day. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yes.
so
I'm
much
sorry.
no. I don't want to
mean-
make the 5-minute drive home from the studio to my house now. Like, no, that's too much travel. I'm exposed to the elements and I'm sad and cold and scared. I don't know how you guys do it. I couldn't do it.
I mean,
It's like Todd
Senator
said,
made it.
it's where the
Senator
art.
made it easy to do it. I mean, when I first initially started, I was traveling exposed for the first couple sessions on my sleeves. And, you know, the one time I'm in the fucking shuttle and this old lady looks, oh, that's a nice tattoo. I had just gotten tattooed the day before. And she grabs it.
Yup. Yummy.
the worst.
Oh,
The
the
worst.
look
Yep.
on my face.
Oh, I'm sure. Ah,
Yeah, so
My
you know,
thing is-
Senator, you get that barrier from the public, so you know I don't worry about it anymore.
I Johnson and Johnson tape down body armor now, make little pillows and like fucking around.
Pillows.
Pillows.
You make pillows.
Yeah, little body armor pillows.
All right.
Tape,
I mean,
tape,
pillows.
body armor.
So Bree,
I don't know.
have you had to
I'm-
travel most? I mean, most of the stuff's been pretty close to you. I mean, grade A.
Yeah, I really haven't traveled far, just to conventions that are drivable. I've never flown or anything for any of my pieces. Everything's been pretty close and mostly at home.
Makes
Are you
it
going to hit any
easier.
more shows this summer?
I was considering going to Golden State. I'm still not 100% on that. I've got some other plans that I've got to make sure everything's going to work out, but I'd love to attend Arizona, Hell City, or Golden State. I think both would be fun. I've never been to either of those shows.
Golden State's fun show. And
We'll
Hell
be
City
in
is
Arizona.
too.
We'll be in Phoenix.
We will be in Arizona.
We'll definitely
on.
be in Phoenix.
Hopefully I
can't
can
wait.
join.
I keep talking about this trip.
I'm ready for an unwind.
Yeah.
That should be.
I've been kind of like waffling back and forth whether I want to drive out or whether I want to
love
fly
that you
out.
said waffling.
Waffling. Been waffling back and forth.
I've been waffling.
Hey, are you going to Hell City?
Am I?
Yeah.
If I can sweet talk Megan into paying for me to go.
Well, I thought maybe you might have a session with Ty and just tied it all in together, you know?
So I'm also having trouble finding people to cover my shifts at work because one girl quit and another girl broke her arm.
Well,
That's makes it
Well,
That-
that does make it hard to do
Just a smidge.
dental things.
stupid paychecks.
Need
real
both
life.
arms.
I get it, man.
so what's next for you, Bree? You got any plans?
We are working on my black and gray sleeve. I'd say we're probably 2 sessions, maybe 3 away from completing that. So we're working on that. And then I'm on the books for Tim to finish out my leg and Bradley to finish out my other leg, but they're busy guys, so it's going to be a little bit.
Worth the wait, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
It
yeah,
is absolutely worth the wait. Trying to be patient as much as I can.
You've got multiple projects going at the same time. It's easy when you can bounce to a couple of different artists. Not easy, it's the wrong word, excuse me. It's a little bit more satisfying to be able to bounce back and forth and schedule out that. So your artist isn't overwhelmed and feeling like they're not taking care of you. You're able to still scratch the itch if you will.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I can still scratch an itch somewhere. We'll just work on different things at different times, whatever people have availability for. And I'm usually down to do it. Glutton for punishment.
Yeah.
Isn't that awful? Like what we put ourselves through.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't been tattooed in a while.
Always worth
I'm
it.
afraid I'm good. Like once I am finished with like other projects and I go back to getting tattooed. What if I forgot how to get tattooed, Ben?
We talk about how to get tattooed all the time.
But
Paul.
I've been going hard in the paint for a long time and then 2-year break.
So what you do is you go back and you listen to our episode about how to prepare for a tattoo session, where we talk about how to have a good meal, get good rest, take care of your skin the week or so before, extra hydration, and listen to your own advice and then just do those things.
What if I forget how?
Well, the best
And you'll
advice
learn real fast
is,
again.
is sit there and shut up. Like, if you forgot,
No,
just
the
sit
best
and
way
be
to go
quiet
get
and
tattooed is
still.
be
and-
hungover. You should be
Yeah,
hungover the
don't
next
be hungover.
day.
No,
Yeah,
no hangover.
if you follow the guidelines and you're still having a horrible time, I mean, maybe tattooing is not for you. Maybe you should collect like Matchbox cards.
I don't know.
Or
There's the I deserve this factor where like no matter how bad it hurts,
I
it's like,
paid for this.
I
This is my
deserve
time.
this. I deserve this. This is for what I did in hour 7 on such and such's knee ditch and then jumped right to their Achilles.
Got
I
'em.
deserve this. I
I-
deserve this. But it needed done. I deserve this.
I always just think about the people that have tattoos in the space that I'm getting. And I'm like, they're alive.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't die.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever heard of anybody dying from tattooing or being tattooed.
Nope.
Nope.
So like, just sit there and shut up. You'll be all right.
It's all a mental game.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make it that easy, but
No, I have
Kinda.
definitely
It
had
kinda
moments
is.
with myself where like as I'm getting worked on and it's brutal and I've just surrendered to everything and my body's just like a piece of meat.
you
It's like there's this part of me.
got to turn it off.
Well, I can't. There's this part of me that's still like rooted to it and I can't let it go. And I think it's that karmic thing that like this is what I do to people.
Huh.
And I can't let it go.
I just lay back and think of England.
But the more you get tattooed, the more it hurts, and the more you're just not into it anymore.
I just think
that's
you're
just gonna happen. That's gonna happen to everybody. I don't care who it is.
Well, once the magic wears off, it's like, this does really suck. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's worth it.
does.
But it sucks.
It is.
Well, it's just I feel like the more you collect, obviously the older you get in your senior, you're like, hey, this is not what I like to do on my day to day. When I was 20, whatever, cool. I could live through that. Now I'm like, I slip and I hurt myself just walking around, and it's like weeks to recover. In the 20s, it healed in 3
Get up and
days.
go. Yeah.
Everything was fine, no big deal. Now
I
I'm
used to
like
go to
sitting
work
there
the next day
for
after
a
getting my
month. I've got
arm
like bruised ribs and shit, like not from the tattoo, but from laying on the chair. It's more the process. I gotta sit on my hip for 6 hours, and now one of them's dislodged. I gotta see the fucking chiropractor. It's a lot of different repercussions.
Every tattoo I've gotten though, I've questioned my sanity. 10, 15 minutes into it, you're just going, why the fuck am I doing this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I already paid. I might as well stay here.
This.
Yeah.
Well, and in my mind as well, I'm gonna have to come back. It's like I'm not gonna not get that tattooed. It's
I
on the
know.
roster. It's gonna happen.
Well,
We're
once you
fucking
start, you
here.
gotta finish.
And when you're waiting 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12 months to go see these people, nope, it's my time. Shitty day or not, sit there and shut up. Yeah,
I don't know. The silver
I make it
lining
sound so sad.
about where my collection is my belly is definitely going to be my next big project. And then after that, it should be smooth sailing. It should be downhill, right?
Right,
It should be.
right. I don't know, man. I don't know.
It seems like you have the worst parts done already. So yeah,
It'll
knock
be
out the
smooth
belly
sailing.
and it should be pretty good.
Everybody's suck is different.
I
My
mean,
belly
that's
wasn't
fair,
that
but, like,
bad.
I
You-
hope my belly's not bad. I've heard mixed. Some people are like, it's not that bad at all. And other people are like, it was horrible.
I didn't think my hands and feet
Yeah, I've
were
heard
bad.
that too. When you go off center on your stomach, that's when it starts to get a bit dicey. When it heads
Right.
towards the ribs and that, but all in all, it wasn't bad. I mean, I did 9 hours on it, Megan. So and I thought it wasn't that bad. So
My stomach's a
I
cover
will,
up.
and I'll be the first to tell you if I have a bad session and I hated it. Like my cover up on my right shoulder, I hated every
Right.
second of it. So
But we love it. That's
No.
why we do it.
I mean, people. There's a lot of people that hate the back of their knee ditch. It didn't bother me.
I didn't
Mine
think
are
mine
blank,
was that
and I'm
bad.
so glad you just said that, because I've never heard anybody else say that. And now that I know one other human being, I can walk in there and be like, "It doesn't even fucking hurt." Todd said it doesn't hurt. Todd said it doesn't hurt. Go. No, I don't even feel it.
All the confidence you need.
That's it. I need a boost in my life.
So there's a funny thing that happens in my knee ditch, and I really hoped my armpits would be the same way. They were not. However, the knee ditch area.
Don't say that because that's what I'm counting on.
Yeah, bro.
So-
I got blank pits and knee ditches. I don't want to hear any of this.
The knee ditch area
Oh.
for me, and this was on both sides. It was almost like if you could imagine somebody taking like a little pencil made out of dry ice and just coloring on you with that. So it was like an
Yeah.
extreme cold sensation instead of hot or electric, like a lot of the tattoo sensations are. It was like an extreme cold. Like I'm not going to say it wasn't painful, but somehow where, I don't know, maybe it's a glitch in my nervous system, but somehow maybe the pain scale tipped from hot to extreme cold. I don't know, but whatever happened, it was almost more tolerable because it was a cold sensation.
It's like one of those things that's so hot that it feels cold.
Maybe, I don't know, but like the way that it felt cold, like there's a very spicy spot on like the inside front of the knee, but as you like wrap around, it just became cold, like a very cold sensation.
See, me was not as excruciating again as most people made it out to be. Like, it wasn't awesome, but I don't remember being like, oh my God, I want to be done.
My kneecap sucked.
I mean, you tattooed my kneecap. Was I like that?
No, but like
I'm asking.
hold on.
Like,
Here's the thing. My kneecap sucks, so I do everything I can to make sure yours didn't.
thanks, man.
You listening collectors, I need
Thanks,
you to
Mom.
appreciate why and how much I baby you.
Thanks,
I was
Mom.
brutalized. And look,
I was brutalized.
Adam didn't even tell me about the numbing paste until way after that.
Oh yeah, bro. I thought you did.
We're down to like our, you know how there's like 2 or 3 passes on a lot of the big work in bio, like it's approached like a big painting. We're down to like the polishing session on most of the outer panels of my upper leg and like a little bit to do on the calf. And Adam's like, have you heard of this stuff? I'm like,
Thanks.
would have been cool if you told me about it 4 years ago.
Thanks, Brad.
4 years, both sides of
4
my ankle, the inside
years.
and outside of my knee. The other time you went on my ankle.
At that point, just sit. Fuck it. I love numbing creams because for me, it's just like a head start. I know it's still going to suck. I know it's still going to hurt. As long as you look at it as like, hey, we're going to ease into this and not, oh, this is going to solve all my problems.
Right.
Run
Give
it.
you a bit of a barrier to like
Yeah.
kind of get ready for it.
Eh.
Do you use any numbing creams or anything like that for your bigger sessions, Brie?
I have only used it one time on a section of my ribs, on the color side, and that's all I've used. But I enjoyed it when I had it, and it was working well.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Do you use numbing stuff, Jay? Or you just going,
No, just Bactine mostly.
Yeah, I'm a
Gotta
big
have
fan
that
of
Bactine bath.
Bathe me in hustle butter helper and I'm okay. You know, I mean, once you break that skin, you can apply that shit all day. I'll be okay.
Right. Yeah,
But
big
that's the
fan.
point.
Holy
I have
water.
nothing to prove.
Oh yeah, same, Bob.
I've got 770 hours on me. I have nothing to prove. I'm entitled to
700.
pain. I have.
Did you just say you had 700 hours on you?
Yes.
Insane.
See, this is why I
I
stopped
can't
keeping
even do
track.
that math.
I stopped keeping track.
My brain doesn't go to numbers that big.
Mm-mm.
So, you know, I just feel I'm entitled to pain-free fucking tattooing from here on out, man. I mean,
Yeah, no one's
I can't-
arguing that.
my neck, you know, I mean, that was fine until that one little section on the left side and the back, but I didn't think the neck was all that bad, which is sort of gave me a little more hope that maybe I'm going to be able to endure this last bit that I need to finish up. But then Fawn had to kill it. Well, the knee
What?
ditch was when you said that the knee ditch isn't going to like be like with your armpits. Because, you know, I survived my knee ditches like nothing. And I'm thinking, well, you know, maybe my armpits are going to be like that.
But
And
like,
then she says,
so
no.
before we even did my armpits, I already had this area done and it doesn't get worse. Like it's just the same as like that little crease, but all the way. It doesn't get
But
worse.
like all the way and all the time.
Well, but when it's
Wasn't
all the
any
time, it
fun.
kind of balances out of it.
I mean, to be honest, like, so
Hush.
my armpit pieces
No.
come down to like below my bra line. So when we talk about my armpits are like big. They're not just my pits. So like those sessions were like rib days. It was like, oh, an hour and a half in the armpit and the rest of your life on your ribs.
Well, it was like Jay when he got
I'm
his
being
armpit
dramatic.
done. And then
I'm
it
being
took him
dramatic. It
an
wasn't
hour or
awful.
so to do that one session. I'm going, wow, it was quick. See, I can handle that. If someone guaranteed that they could do one session in an hour, and then, you know, a few more hours to do the next one, I'd be all over it right now.
I'm going with something simple.
Do you want to
Lot
put
of
a
black
psychedelic
color.
swirl in your armpit?
Uh,
Because between
no,
our
I already
homemade
got one. I already
remedy,
know what's going in it. It's not going to be that. I mean, I got this hummingbird feeding at a fucking pot, but I need to get that done.
we've talked
that's
about
gonna
that
go in
idea.
one of them.
Yep. We've talked
And
about that
then-
Do
idea.
you want a snail?
And then Randy's
He's
going
got
to
a
do another
snail.
one. Got one on my back. And then
Yeah.
Randy's going to do another green one
Alright.
and then the other side on the other one. So I'm going to have that done. And then I got one little bit on the right side of my torso. And I don't know what I'm going to do there yet. I do. I talked to this sad Amish tattooer. So he's going to put something there.
Huh.
So then I'm done.
For now, you'll come up
No,
with
I'm
more.
done. Well, no, the only
Liter-
thing that's I'll be probably refreshing some of the older ones eventually down the
Okay.
line, but
All right.
But that's it.
Okay. All right. If you're gonna commit to only refreshing stuff, I guess that's fair. What a milestone.
I want to be like you, Todd. That's where I want to be. I want them all wrapped up. I just kind of want to be tying
Chuck's
everything
got me
together.
beat already. Chuck's already got me beat. What are you talking about? He's down to toes.
Oh, geez. Nah,
Yeah,
I don't need to be that secure. It's okay.
my hand was enough. I don't need to.
Yeah, I want
don't-
to tie together what I got. Be done. I'm okay with that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I don't need to do my toes.
No,
I've never in my life woken up and like
You know
thought
what
to
I mean?
myself,
tattoo.
toe tatties.
The only place I'm still debating is creeping up over the collar. Because
Yeah, you need to do
That's-
that. It makes everything.
how did I
just-
know you were just gonna put it last time? That's Brad.
Guys, it looks
Uh,
better. I mean, when Megan did all that and filled all that in, it looks so much better. Trust me, it does.
Right.
It does.
I'll get there.
Hmm.
It'll probably just be last, so I can cry about it a bunch. Like, I did it when I was old as fuck. Fuck all of you. And then I can prove something again.
I don't know. I feel like I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, but I will eventually do the sides of my neck, like the sides and back. I just don't see myself being ready anytime soon. Like,
Yeah, I kind of want like to be independently wealthy, so I don't have to
Why
like
do you say
acquire.
that? Why? Why would it stop you? I mean, if you're gonna do it, I mean, wait. I understand that because again, you got other areas to tattoo, and that's a good thing. I mean, I waited until almost everything was tattooed, and then convinced myself that I should do my neck because my initial plan was nothing above the neck.
See,
convinced himself.
I mean, I already do have head tattoos, but I also have hair a lot of the times, and or hats. So that's not really like.
have hair.
But I don't know. It's like
I have
Yeah.
had
I mean,
tattoos.
Jay's perfect for a head tattoo. Look at that bald dome of his. I mean, it's perfect
Yeah.
for it.
he's just like, nope. Like not no words. No.
He's got a lot of space though. He's got a lot
He
of
still
space
does.
before he gets to his head. Bree, you don't have anything above
Finding
your
out-
collar, do you? You don't have anything on your neck.
No, we actually were going to try and start a piece on the back side of my neck, and the top of my shoulder blades on the back side, at Hell City, and just didn't ever get around to it. And that was kind of fine by me. I thought we'll get to it at some point. But I had a really fun time with that show. And so not being tattooed at that one, I got to enjoy the actual show and see a lot that I don't normally get to see, and just talk to a lot of other different artists and people and meet people. And it was just super fun.
Isn't it fun just attending shows, like just to be there? When we work at them, sometimes it becomes so much of like a work thing. You forget, like, if you just step away and take the weekend off and have a good time and visit with people, it's like one of the best social gatherings.
I'm just starting to get to know people
I
that aren't
love
the
it because
same
we're
12
all,
people I've met
we're all
forever.
comrades in arms. I mean, we're all been through it. We're all going
Yep.
through the process. I
Yep.
love that. We all take a different approaches to our suits. I mean, Jay gets my respect because he's all going bio. That's an impressive way to do things. I like that. Brie, those colors and everything, how she's doing it. You've just got impressive work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good to see people like that. I've seen, so many collectors over the years, and it's just amazing to see how much good work is out there, though. There's still
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of good work out there.
To see
But
the
you have to
turn
go
of the
conventions
industry has
to
been
see it.
amazing. Yeah.
You have to go to conventions to see it. That's just it. You rarely see it in the wild. I mean, I have, but it's rare. I mean,
It still kind of blows my mind
Comic-
how many people still get bad tattoos and how many people still make a
Well-
living on the very mediocre like
but
people still get tribal and like fucking old English letters and shit. Like that still happens.
Someone's got to do it.
No.
But here's the thing though, when you're out in the public and you see someone with good work, like I seen this guy that Sarah Miller worked on. He had this Pittsburgh Steelers sleeve. And I was at the Detroit Comic Con, and I could tell from the distance I was, and I was about 50 feet away, that tattoo was good. So I went up and looked at it, and I'm going, who did that sleeve? And he goes, Sarah Miller. And I go, yeah, I've seen that before. And that, but you know, those moments are rare for any collector out there to see people
Right.
like that.
Mhm.
It is. It's a rare thing.
Or if
Vegas,
you
I've
see
seen some good
people,
work
they
in the
have like
wild.
bad ones too.
You know, that is a
Yeah.
funny point that you make that I guess I never really considered. Like when we are at tattoo events, people see my leg and they're like, oh yeah, that's da da da, Adam France, da da da. And like they know it about half the time before I even tell them who did it. Where like if I am, let's say, just stopping at a random gas station in the middle of nowhere and I walk in by myself, just like simply being myself.
Simply being myself.
And like they see my leg or they see my head tattoos when my head was shaved, and it's like a short circuit, like
Is that possible?
like they don't know how to they don't know how to like take me. They don't know like is there more of me?
I still get the pull the kid close, clutch the purse ladies. And it makes me laugh so much. 'Cause I'm like, oh, sweetie, do you
see,
need help with your
I can relate to
groceries?
that
Like,
though,
stop.
Sean, because since I've gotten my neck, right, it's funny the reaction that you get from the public now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I get a lot. I mean, like I was at the store today and I had 3 people go, nice artwork, you know, and you know, just being in my town. So,
Right.
you know, I mean, that's, you know, that don't happen often anymore. But
I
it-
started handing
hey,
out tattoo collecting cards every time somebody said, hey, bro, nice tattoos. I'm like, here you go, talk about them. Here you go. Here you go.
But
And it ends the conversation. It's
know,
amazing.
but there's so many people that come up and they say that and they want to show you their work. And the problem is that we're a rare breed.
Yeah.
When they
Mhm.
start
look at-
showing you their tattoos, well, they're not in the same league as what you got.
And you're like,
Right.
why did you pay someone money to put that on you? And you can't have that conversation at,
I
at
can't
fucking
say
the
that.
grocery store.
I'm
Exactly,
nice.
because that's rude as shit. But I want you to be proud of what you got on your body. Everybody does. But
Yeah.
when you see that trash and you're just like,
It's just not comparable.
oh,
at some
sweetie,
certain-
I wish I would have met you a longer time ago. Because
A couple weeks
Sorry.
ago, I was with my 2 little nieces, and the oldest one is 6. And we were walking into a store, and before we left, somebody else who lived in the neighborhood had stopped over, and they're just like covered head to toe in like small town kind of tattoos. You know what I mean? Like they're just
Yes.
kind of like
Yeah.
patchworked in there. And my niece Piper was like, Aunt Fawn. And she had the serious look on her face. And I was like, niece Piper. She's like, your tattoos are different. And I was like, yes, Piper.
thanks. But no,
There's
that's-
something special.
Yeah. No, I was like, yes, Piper. They are absolutely different than those.
I remember the conversation of why doesn't everybody else have tattoos? Well, maybe just because all the daddy's friends and everybody you know has a bunch. We're a nice little pocket group. And like if you look out and where there's a bunch of people,
Oh, I never even thought about it from Lily's point of view. She's probably
Right.
like, why don't all these normies
So,
have
like,
tattoos?
she sees people with tattoos.
These guys
out.
aren't even colorful or imaginative at
She's,
all.
but she assumes we're homies. So anybody that has a bunch of hey, you know my dad, like he's got tattoos too. You guys must be best friends. Like, come talk to each other. Like, what are you doing way over there, other person with tattoos? And most of the time, people are very like, oh, little baby. But
Or she shows off her tattoos.
yeah, that happens. She rocks temporary tattoos. For those of you that don't know,
Usually about 36 of them at a time.
frequently she gets sleeved out. So
We should Sharpie something on her sometime.
we did full on tattoo day here
Yeah.
at one point where we came in and put a bunch of big stuff on her. Yeah, She
Caution, warning. I enjoy drawing on little kids a lot.
oh, let
It
happen.
really just sparks a joy in my soul I can't describe.
It was a good time.
They get so happy and they
Yeah.
get so proud to show it off. And
Yeah.
like you could put anything on
Yeah.
a little kid. You can take 30 seconds and draw a little heart with an arrow through it and their name underneath it. And
It's the
they're
hippopotamus.
super happy. You could take an hour and like even the most impatient child, the child that will not sit still, bouncing off the walls. Hey, you want a tattoo? And you get the markers out and all of a sudden they're like,
So have you seen the
No.
little kid set that comes with the body markers that are washable that go into a tattoo machine? So you can, and it's like tattoo Barbie setup. I don't know what the right words are. I'm sorry if I'm.
there's a few different versions of it. I've seen all wooden ones that you can put a pen or a marker in. There's a lot of them. The little
Can we
kid.
get one with a motor? Just
Oh.
to get used to the.
So it, yeah, we could make that happen.
Nothing
Okay.
gave me greater joy when I was a kid than getting Cracker Jacks, and then you got the tattoos that you put
Fuck
on
yeah.
there.
I
Well,
mean, I
that
used
was
to
the
sit-
greatest thing in the world, man. I mean, seriously.
Absolutely.
If you hit
Licking
the
the
jackpot for
zebra
that, you were
stripe.
good all day, man. Yeah.
I remember sitting in study hall and I can't draw. I don't, it's not a thing I do, and would still sit draw on shitty tattoos and, like stupid stuff and think about where I would want stuff. And I didn't get a single one of the ideas I had then, but yeah, all the time. All the time.
I
Hmm.
gave myself my first tattoo in art class.
Nice.
Unique in a fountain pen in my palm.
Vaughn, I need to pay you to give my daughter a sleeve or a leg sleeve because she is obsessed with tattoos.
Nice.
Just like your daughter sounds like. She's about
How
to turn
old?
4
Nice.
and she is just in love. And every time she sees mine, Mommy, your tattoos are so beautiful. And my other kids don't care at all. They can take them or leave them, but my daughter is absolutely in love. And so she's constantly drawing on herself, trying to mimic my tattoos.
Love
Or
it.
we do the sheets of the temporary tats all over. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but she's so excited every time that you just put any type of drawing or tattoo on her. So yeah.
I think there's something really cool about families that like get tattooed together and like encourage that kind of self-expression in their kids. It's one of those things
if
where-
you're into it, I want to be pumped about it. And if you're into something I'm into, fuck yeah, I'm gonna be pumped about it. I will sleeve you out right now.
Mhm.
girl. So-
But I think kids of parents with nice work
Yeah.
know the difference and don't
Yeah.
get garbage work is
Right.
where I was going
Right.
with that. Like
Yeah.
if your daughter's grown
Yeah,
up
'cause it's drilled
seeing
into
you
them at the
collect
start.
good work, she's gonna know the difference between like nice quality work that means something and holds up over time and like, what you see while you're waiting in line at the gas station. I mean,
Absolutely.
and it's
Hometown
it really,
heroes.
yeah. Like if your children choose to get tattoos, they're already gonna have discerning taste. They're gonna probably, they're either gonna figure out what they want early and jump right in, or they're gonna hold off and really plan everything out, because watching your collection grow, it's like they get to learn from your experience as well.
Yes, absolutely.
I think
Just
we're
seeing
all
the
in a
whole
unique
process gives them a different perspective.
Absolutely. And they understand what the commitment is.
Yeah.
Anyone that didn't grow up watching someone nurse tattoos or understanding that they have to take care of them a certain way isn't going to appreciate the level of care and respect it takes to keep the collection going. So
Oh,
Yeah.
my son's his first tattoo.
nice.
I didn't want to
I
get
love
nothing junky.
I love it when it's a family thing. Like I love when I have children of clients that, like, when I first started tattooing, they were 5 or 6 years old and now they're like 20. And I'm like, oh man.
Just
Oh man, I
wait.
remember taking your dad's arm stencil and slapping it on your chest and it took up your entire chest. And now you're bigger than me. Like that's a super funny, weird
Right.
thing. But it's kind of cool to see how like, even though I was just doing like house parties and things like that super early in my career, how much even those early interactions made a difference, and those families and kids still followed me. And now that these kids are grown, they come to me to get their work or to ask me who to go to. And that's a pretty cool thing to like have that kind of positive influence,
Right.
like because of their parents' choices to get tattooed by me, they now have a little bit more respect for their own bodies. It's a cool thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Accidental gift.
I don't think it was accidental.
I mean, I'm just now, it's now occurring to me,
Right.
like an additional
Right.
accidental gift that I didn't,
I'm very fortunate that my child gets to walk in at the top and meet people that aren't practicing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
not everyone had that privilege.
mhm.
And
True.
like I've said it many times, I was real lucky that I walked into the shop that I did, and I'm not covered in a bunch of garbage, because I would be.
I still think it's crazy that I have had the privilege to have the people work on me who have worked on me.
Same.
Like when I
Absolutely.
first started tattooing, I never would have imagined that I would even have the chance to meet Ty McEwen or
Right.
Russ Abbott, or it just seems so like so far beyond me that
For me,
it
it
just
was
makes my
Paul
tattoos
Booth.
feel that much more special. What's that, Todd?
For me, it was meeting Paul Booth. Because, you know, when I was a kid, you know, Paul Booth was the man, you know.
Mm-hmm.
His work was that everyone talked about his work and that. And to know that I've gotten high with Paul, that's cool.
Yes, I also noted that occasion on my calendar as well. I was like, that day was cool.
I think
Star.
we all have.
I think we all
I think
did.
we all have.
I think we all put a star on our calendar for that day.
Yeah.
You know, to be able to consider some of these people my friends now is just amazing, you know. I mean, I've been able to see their work over the years, and now I can count them as friends. I mean, that's pretty. I'm amazed how my journey has gone. And you know, I mean, Ty's probably this. I mean, Jay's probably the same way with Ty and that. I mean, and Brie with all the people at Bohemian, and then Max and all them. You know, I mean, it's just amazing how you meet all these people and you just become friends with them.
Same.
Um,
I have no
It's such a
reason to be
good
in
group
this
of
panel.
people.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Everyone is such a great group. All these circles I've been able to enter and had the privilege of just kind of even brushing shoulders with, and standing on stage next to Jay and Fawn and not even knowing who I had the pleasure of standing next to, making a fool out of myself and about having a panic attack next to her. You know, it's that's where it all started though, and that it comes full circle at some point, and you just get in with these super awesome humans, skilled, talented artists and people, and it's just incredible to see what they all give back to each other and how they're so supportive of one another.
Yeah, so they're not one-dimensional people. They have so many other things going in their lives. I mean, you know, they've got, you know, it's just impressive how creative some of these artists are. Megan's creative. I mean, Fawn, she's creative.
Yeah, I don't know where it comes from sometimes.
It's the weed.
It's the weed.
It's the weed. I'm telling you, like the smoke
Man.
happens. Boom.
Inspiration.
My
And
brain-
it's
my brain
weird.
doesn't
It's
work
weird
that
to say- Yeah, it's the weed. It just like opens up a portal. I don't
But
know.
what happened? You guys haven't taken a dab on the air in I don't know how long, man. I mean, I'm the only one that dabs anymore. It seems.
What do you?
I mean, we can. My nectar
What are you
collector's
doing?
right over
What are you-
there.
I got my
Kyle's got
Puffco.
his
What is
rig
this
right there.
challenge bullshit? We got wax right here, bruh. The like, what are you talking about? What are you? Jeez. Just put it on blast. You guys are practically sober. You've only smoked like 4 blunts.
I mean, to be fair, we've actually only smoked 2. We are kind of behind pace.
We are.
Now that Todd brings it up, we are
we gotta catch up.
All right.
That's hot. I came in hot. It's funny too, because on Thursdays I'm like, no, you're about to smoke a shit ton of weed. Just wait. Like hit it twice. You just,
I was mentally preparing
Just
for that.
I forgot to eat before I came this time though.
I have
That's
some-
why we don't do dabs on air, Todd. Right there. That right there. As he dies.
What am I doing?
I got some noodles in the fridge.
No, I love noodles.
Noodles.
It also like makes the air go silent when we start ripping these.
Silent.
So who's up? Well, excuse me just a second.
See? Rip another one, Todd. Rip another one.
Oh man,
will.
I hurt myself so bad the other day. Jess walks out here and I was like just recover, like you know how after you cough real hard, you like shrink, your eyes water. And she comes around the corner and that was me.
The Schmiegel pose. I am dying from this.
Oh, I hurt myself so hard. I got it too hot.
Yeah.
I got the
that
nectar
happens.
collector. It's easy to do. I got it too hot, kicked myself right in the lung.
Yep. Lung kickers.
That's why I got that guy. I can just set it low and it'll be fine every
just
time.
just puff. Just let it puff.
It does it all the magic for me.
Yeah, I don't
You want a honey badger.
Yeah, that thing
Oh,
is
that
pretty
thing is-
nice.
But
It is.
I've
I
got
just
my
got my
Randy's
bubbler on.
super similar but smaller. But the battery in that thing just lasts so much longer. Nice.
you guys in your
So who's all
fancy
going to
equipment.
Akron?
I'll be in Akron.
I'll be there.
I'll be there. I'm gonna go
I'll be
chase
there.
some waterfalls. You guys may or may not know or have ever paid attention to any episode ever, but I enjoy waterfalls a lot. And some of my most
No.
favorite waterfalls are in Cuyahoga Valley. And where is that?
on the way.
Akron, Cleveland area.
On the way.
Yep, it's gonna be real close. So I feel like there's gonna be some Wording waterfall adventures. So if anybody
Waterfall?
pays attention, wants to check out some of the most beautiful waterfalls in Ohio, we're gonna do it.
I might take you up on that.
Yeah, we might do one each morning. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. But we're
Each
definitely
morning.
it's not that far.
Jay, you gonna make it?
Wake
to
and
there?
bake.
You guys are highly underestimating the amount that I want to sleep.
No,
I mean, we don't really have any like work to do.
Mike.
You are
Oh, that'd be
highly
great.
underestimating the amount that I want to sleep. Because like untethered weekends to sleep, my child wakes up at 7. Okay. And that's not a big deal. I'm up at 6:30 most days. But just every now and then, can I sleep until like 9? Like it's Saturday, baby. Can we doze off and watch cartoons? No.
Your kid and my dog.
You're
must
full
have the
blast,
same
huh?
thought
You need chalky milk right now, huh? All right.
right now.
I'm up. So
But the
I
thing
think
is,
you're
with Ben's
highly
daughter,
underestimating the amount I want to sleep.
she's so sweet and polite
She
that like
is.
you can't tell her no
Daddy.
because she's
Daddy,
so
may I please?
sweet. Like some kids
I would just
are
like to have
rotten.
some chocolate milk.
Ben's daughter is sweet, so it's impossible to say no.
She's
She could wake me up out of a dead sleep, and I am a grump out of a dead sleep. I kind of am. I gotta like get my wits about me and like become
Uh-huh.
human.
What?
But she could wake me up and it would be like, okay, what do you need?
Yep.
Come on.
She's
All
got this
right.
way about getting what she wants.
Yeah.
I don't know where she got it from. I don't know if it was a trained behavior or if I just am soft
Mhm.
in nature.
Could be a
Um,
combination of a
But
lot of things.
she said this to her mother and said, I can get anything I want from dad. All I have to do is say please. And I was like, I guess it's pretty fair. I mean,
Checks out.
That's
Checks out.
a true story. Yeah, it was expensive. So what? It's just money. So yeah. And then I felt like I was the one that, yeah, it's been a whole cycle. But it's cool. She's cool. She's nice about it.
She's running the show,
She does run the show
but politely.
very politely.
Yeah.
When she asked for my wallet the other day, I was plotting that. Dad, can I just have the wallet so I can go pay for things? I was like, you know that what? She's
I
like,
know the security code
You
already.
paused
Okay.
for a second. You thought about it. You
I
were
was
like,
that is kind of convenient. If I didn't think you get mugged on the way to cash out, I'd probably let this happen. She gets a little too independent sometimes.
you'll have that.
It's cool. She's cool.
You'll have that.
I just want her to be smart, and then that's her main focus right now. She wants fuel for her brain. And I don't know who taught her that, but fucking high five to whoever you were.
Yeah.
It's amazing because she's like, Dad, I gotta ask a lot of questions because I need to be smart. And I'm like, fucking okay. I'm probably gonna give you misinformation a little bit because I'm kind of dumb, but I'll Google some shit for you.
Oh, that's the worst.
It always works out. Oh, I don't know, baby, but here's how you find answers. Now, so now we're teaching something, I guess. But yeah, it kind of blows my mind. It kind of blows my mind. I just want a good retirement home. She needs a good job.
I mean, there's a good chance. What if she builds your retirement home?
She can do whatever she wants, as long as I get a decent place to sleep when I'm
It'll
old.
have the tallest tower.
Probably would. I mean, I don't even care if she just has like a big house and lets me live in the basement. I'm just saying I'm looking for a cushy retirement and I'm not working too hard on it now, other than investing everything in her. And I know that's a lot for a little baby 4-year-old, but like, carry me, Lily. Jeez. Carry me in my retirement plan. She's going to listen back to this and just be so mad at me.
Yeah. Lily, Aunt Fawn's just kidding. Follow your dreams.
Oh, I don't care. Yeah, as long as she's happy, we're all happy. I guess that's the hard thing to say. But I do want to live in your house when I'm old.
Follow your dreams, but let me tag along.
Let me tag along. Like, I don't care what that dream is. You want to be a butcher?
You need a hype man? I
Like,
got
I'm
you.
there. Like, yeah, I'm pretty good at hype.
Absolutely. So
Sorry, just dropped it. My bad.
no. So one of the ideas I wanted to talk about today was the longevity of different tattoo styles.
Give it to my friend.
Yeah, because of like how impressive Brie's work, and some of it's got a few years of age and it still looks incredible. Like there's very few areas of her work, if any, if she's as careful as the sun seems like she is, that will ever need touched up.
Well, first thing then is we need to put bed is that realism don't hold them. Because that was always the argument when it first started.
It just depends on
everything.
how
Well, it's just,
good your artist is,
Yes.
how well saturated it is. If it's only partially saturated, it's not going to age as well. If it's fully saturated and you're actually packing in every color instead of
Mhm.
counting on like washes and things like that to work, it holds. It really holds. And I think there's a lot of magic in multiple sessions to make sure that things are truly saturated. There was a piece, it's been several months ago, that I did. And it is a blue heron overlooking like a reflecting pool. And Todd hit me up like immediately after I posted it. And he's like, I don't know if that's going to hold. And I was like, oh no, there's multiple passes in there. It'll hold. Todd was like, okay.
Don't worry, it's in her.
Oh, it's in there. That
It's in
thing's
there.
so saturated, but it looks very soft. Like the
Right.
blues look
Yes,
very
it does.
soft, and but like there's multiple layers of those blues and teals, turquoises, and but that was the concern, and that's why I had to explain to my client, like, I could do this in one session, but this is something that we need to give the time to give multiple sessions to really like make it,
Soak it in.
to give that daydream the punch to like stand the test of time.
So explain how layering like that works inside someone's skin. Because a lot of people don't understand, why does it need a second pass? Why are you now adding a different color on top of it? Why are you now doing something different? I thought this was purple. Now you're adding black. Like,
So during the tattoo process, basically what's going on is these tiny needles are pushing pigment into the skin. And when they retract, they're leaving ink behind. And that ink is then encapsulated by the body and actually like stored in the cells of the body. What is
Ink
the
never
body made
dries.
of? Well, I was just going to say, what is the body made of?
cells,
But what are those cells made of?
Good.
Water.
water.
So what happens when
She's
you
like, let me give you the answer so this
What-
doesn't take forever.
what happens when you put ink in water?
it dissipates.
It's going to squish around. It's
It
going to swish around.
widens.
Yes, it's going to continue to travel. It's always going to travel a little bit because you're encapsulating pigment particles into living material.
Yes.
So there's always going to be a little bit of ink migration. And there are certain styles and certain approaches to tattooing that account for that and accommodate for that. And those tricks really only reveal themselves after you've gotten years under your belt
Right.
tattooing. Like you can be a savant and be a brilliant tattooer, but watch those tattoos come back 5 years later. And it's like, oh, I could have used this color differently. And I could have used this color differently. Noted. Now you put that into your new tattoos. And 5 years from then, you see the lesson learned. You know what I mean? So once you're like 10 or 15 years in, you really start to understand how the body encapsulates the ink and how much of that ink kind of stays where it is and how much of it kind of travels around and affects surrounding colors. So one of the things that's really impressive about Brie's work in particular is she's got so many places. I should just pull the picture up. I'm going to pull the picture up of your arm because Todd and I spent so much time talking about that already.
I love that when it gets quiet, there's a random bird sound in the background. It's kind of amazing. No, like
There was a real bird sound.
yeah.
I thought
I
you were
know.
making fun of my
No, I heard
it.
clicks
I
and
always hear you
noises.
click.
But some of the things that are so impressive about this. Oh, where is it? Sorry, guys, I'm making you dizzy. Let. Rewind. Where'd it go? Sorry, guys, I've been smoking. But one of the things that's so impressive is that there are so many like nice soft colors that are just slammed right next to super dark, bold colors. And the magic of that is those colors being heavily saturated and right next to each other. Like one color makes the other color stronger. So like putting in the darks is like just as important as what you do with the lights. And then just really making sure that they're actually all saturated all the way. Oh, come on. Where is
I didn't
it?
even know we
The
were going to.
bottom, Fawn, you gotta scroll down all the way down.
I didn't even know we were going to talk about that. That was like the key points that I liked about your tattoos.
Here we go. I'm just going to pull this camel up. Because it's got a lot of examples of it in here. Boom. So like
Would you look at that?
down in this area where like this is completely saturated. There's no skin showing through in that little area whatsoever. Like that is just pigment on pigment on pigment. And you can tell like right here, it's so rich. And then it actually comes out to like a lighter blue and a lighter blue and a lighter blue. And then this light blue pushes back into it. So this, like in just this
It's
little
whipped
piece
both
right
ways.
here, this probably had 4 passes at least.
Jeez.
Just in that little tiny area. So imagine every other millimeter of this tattoo has that same intention and saturation. And that's the difference between watercolor style tattoos that you can't see 2 years later and watercolor tattoos like Gene Coffee's that are
Right.
still like bold, splattery, brilliant colors. It's because he's meticulously putting layers and layers and layers of that color
Something
in there.
Contrast behind it. It's going to build it.
Absolutely.
I'm not a tattooer. I hung out with a fool.
But like this, you know, you hear a lot of people, you hear a lot of tattooers kind of criticize realism tattoos or surrealism tattoos with the bold will hold thing. Just because there isn't a line there doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to hold, but you have to fully saturate if you're not depending on your line.
I think early in hyperrealism and early in black and gray, people were still figuring out those concepts. So there was a lot of, oh, well, we'll see it in 5 years. And when it didn't hold because they were still learning these tricks and things like that, I think there was this little puff of, traditional's always best. Oh, oh, oh. But now with, again, the availability and changing of the styles of pigments that can be used, styles of inks that can be used, machines that have changed, the availability of needles and grips and all the things that make it a completely different style and availability of art as opposed to 30 years ago. Yeah.
It's
Like-
pretty special. It's pretty special what we're able to accomplish with this kind of body art now.
Yes.
Could you imagine being a little kid in like 1987 and seeing something like this on somebody? You'd be like, what? That's fake.
Yeah.
That's airbrush.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I kind of want to learn to airbrush.
That's not real.
But yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
They have so many variety of colors now too that make this possible too.
Right. It was 6 colors when I started getting tattooed. You want dark red or light red? I guess we're going with light today. Okay.
Oh,
I couldn't imagine tattooing with a limited palette like that. I mean, I have confidence in my color mixing. Like I can mix any color. Like you've seen what I do with paintings, minimal colors to create crazy things. But I love having like 6 different red families.
Right.
Like not even red choices, but like, do we want to go with the earthy, rusty red, or do we want to be in like the burgundy pink family?
I love
You
when
want to
you
go
set up
fire
the
end
rainbow
or
troughs.
hooker red?
Hooker red. Yes. I was always hooker red. I love when you set up your trays with the rainbow
Roy G. Biv, man.
grids.
Yep. He's my homeboy.
Makes my heart happy.
He's my homeboy.
Amazing, amazing.
Ben,
styles
What?
though, you know.
I was gonna say, what are some of your maybe thoughts or advice about decisions on the longevity of your tattoos? Like, you think you should just get it because you feel like getting it? Do you think you should weigh things in?
Honestly, if you are of the mind frame, and most people are early, oh, I'm going to get a couple, or I'm going to get a bunch. There's only kind of two categories when it comes to collectors. If you're only going to get a couple, and that's your honest, like, I can't ever see myself having more than 2 or 3 tattoos. Get whatever the fuck you want, wherever the fuck you want it. If you see yourself getting more than 2 or 3 softball sized tattoos, go in with some intention.
I like that, Ben.
Go
That's a
in with some good
look.
placement.
Yeah.
And go in with an artist mindset first and talk to somebody about, okay, I want this to be able to be mapped out. Yes, I want to get my bicep tattooed right now, but I'm also talking about doing this as soon as that's done. So make sure that that's able to tie in. And if you go in with that intention, most artists now have the wherewithal to be like, okay, I'm not going to fuck your whole arm up. I'm going to, you know,
Mhm.
and heaven forbid you build a long relationship with one artist and get a lot of work from one artist or one group of artists or something like that. Because that to me was what kind of made my collection special. Is I went into one guy for 10 years
Mhm.
and then graduated to his staff. So it was this very like I don't know. I didn't really have to try hard to find great artists. I I was very blessed. I was very blessed.
You were lucky. Not
was very
everybody's
lucky.
that lucky, though. Not
So
everybody's that lucky at all.
if your intention is to get heavy tattooed, start that intention early. If your intention is to get a couple trinket pieces, do whatever the fuck you want.
That being said, it's kind of cool when I know when I work on somebody and it's like their first tattoo or their first large tattoo, and they're in their 30s or 40s, but they've been thinking about this since their 20s and they've wanted it. And
That's an honor.
Brian Minot, he was on from the famous Tampa episode. He's one of those unicorns. Like his wife is tattooed. I mean, she's getting pretty heavily tattooed now that I've started working on her leg. Like she's tatted.
She getting there.
She's tatted. But he was always supportive of her tattoos, like loved them, all the things, just didn't have any yet, and always wanted to get tattooed, just wanted to plan it out. So it would be one, like his idea from the start was having one cohesive bodysuit by one artist. He searched high and low to find Derb. And also, it's a crazy story how he got Derb to work on him. Because Derb was like, nah, man, if you haven't ever been tattooed, I don't even want to open that can of worms. Like, I'm not committing to a bodysuit if you've never been tattooed. No, like, I'm not saying that's what Derb said, but like, that was the vibe I got. Like, big picture. But once Brian and Derb started their project, and Brian could explain to Derb how important it was and how patient he had been and why he waited till he found Derb or an artist of Derb's caliber to do it. It was one of those like,
Okay.
yep. And he's a dedicated collector.
Oh my
He's an
God,
incredibly
yes.
busy businessman, but he is
gets it
on
in.
it. Anytime Derb is available, he is in here regularly. He is so dedicated to that project. He's an awesome collector.
It's
He's
cool
a
to see people
unicorn.
like that. Just in it all
It
the
never
time.
really happened. Like, I mean, I know it does. I know there are collectors that like jump in with one and have a whole bodysuit, no cover-ups, no like mind changes.
It's very rare.
But I don't personally know any.
My favorite is when the guys are doing the full bodysuit competitions and you can find their first tattoo.
No,
You know what I mean? Like you're standing there and there's the rat fink hidden on his thigh that they never covered. That's just like tucked into this amazing traditional Japanese work.
Like a Where's Waldo on tattoos.
Yes, it's my favorite game.
That maybe that's a game we can start playing when we hit shows together. Is guess the
Where's your
first,
first
guess
tattoo?
the first, and guess the worst.
Where's your first tattoo? I think we can do it.
yeah, but mine's covered up now. So, I mean.
Well, way to kill the fun, Todd. I won't look
I
for
know,
yours.
I
Then.
know. I'm a buzzkill. I'm
Jeez.
sorry, dude.
Jeez.
But
I still love you from the bottom of my
Like
heart.
Jay would be the perfect guy. Like, which sleeve was his first? Definitely his left.
yeah.
Excuse me. Running the camera, you kind of, I don't want to say you get bored, but you see the same people up a lot. So you get a chance to get familiar with their collection, and the shock and awe wears off a little bit. And you get a minute to absorb the rest of their tattoos. And sometimes it's great because they'll have like the showstopper all the way down their leg. And then they've got like the feather and dream catcher. You know what I mean? You know exactly what the fuck I mean. It's got that one feather that comes all the way down the outside with the bead, with the leather strand that doesn't look like a leather strand. It's like a wet spaghetti.
But somehow
noodle.
the strand gets bigger than the feather.
Oh, it's huge. We're gonna work on that, okay? We're gonna work on that.
Sorry.
Awkward hand.
That's kind of my favorite game. That's my favorite privilege, if you will, for being up close and center to watching these amazing collectors. Is being like, hey, you got a dream catcher. It's my favorite game. Feel free to join.
Got a collector that lives out in Arizona. He's got a dream catcher that I did on him. I mean, I've done other dream catchers, but
I'm not saying all
His
dream catchers are
particularly is
bad.
jumping out at me. I was going through my photos today. I was going to make a TikTok post and then I didn't.
I was gonna talk,
I was going to talk and then I ticked.
didn't tick.
Right?
I'm old.
So I was going to make a post and then I didn't. So I was going through like some old black and gray work of mine. And the same guy that I did the dream catcher on has got this super cool UFO
You want
on
out?
his lower arm with two little gray people walking out, little silhouettes. So cool, all of it together, because it goes from that to this like scene behind the dream catcher. Oh
Well,
yeah, it's
I
got a
mean,
landscape
know,
behind the dream
duh.
catcher, but
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it's not just a dream catcher. It's a
Uh,
dream catcher with like
a lot
scene
of
behind it.
early Native Americans believe that they came from the stars. It's part of so it is very easy to tie all that.
Oh yeah, yep,
Big fan.
yep.
I am pretty much 100% sold on that. I want to get a UFO in my armpit
I'm with it.
with a tractor beam coming down on it. Just
What's gonna be beaming up?
I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet.
I'm excited.
But yeah,
I'm real excited.
I'll let it happen.
I'm real excited
Big
about
bold.
You
this.
get like a swirling tractor beam or something.
Hush your mouth with your swirls. It's gonna be one color. It's gonna be blue all the way through. Solid. No
It's gonna make
shades.
this noise.
No mixes.
Wah.
Just
Okay, I got it
pack in
now.
one blue. Layers.
Bermuda
Layers.
blue.
Get off them layers.
When I get sucked into the mothership, that's what they're gonna be saying.
Bermuda blue. Yeah.
I take it all back. I take it all back.
I didn't mean to. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, you're getting a Bermuda blue laser beam.
Okay. Twist hard. Twist it.
Bermuda blue happens to be the blue color that is in my bag. I can tell you the names of all the colors. There's only like 6 of them. But Bermuda blue is the one. First of all, the way that Russ Abbott says Bermuda blue, he like the diction is very important. Bermuda blue. I don't know how many times I heard him say that, because every time somebody would come in, they'd be like, "Ooh, what color is that?" And he'd stop and he'd like give them the look, and he'd be like, "Bermuda blue." And then they'd go, they'd leave, and somebody else would come back and they'd be like, "Oh, whoa, what color is that?" And he'd be like, "Bermuda blue." And there was at one point where they're like, "What's this color here?" He's like, "Seashell." He's like, "What's that color there?" Fawn. So close to like my irritated skin color that it was like, no, that's her. That's it.
That's just
Oh, but that color, I mean, I love the color. It's a brilliant color, but it just haunts me sometimes.
I wish I would have got the color of the orange on my shin, because everybody asks me all the time. And I'm like, orange. I don't know. They probably mixed it right there. I don't fucking know. Sure, I could call and ask.
I mean, just because you can buy the same bottle of color doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be able to use it like with the same application.
You talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
That just because you can put the stencil on doesn't mean you can fucking tattoo it.
That's fair. That's fair. Some people do lay a nice stencil though.
I've laid some stencils. Saying,
Some people lay a mean stencil.
if that's where the skill stops.
That's what I need to start saying to people when they're like, "Isn't that cool?"
It was
Because
probably a sweet
usually,
stencil.
because I'm a bad liar. You know how I'm like, "Oh, that's a tattoo." There.
Man,
Yep, that's a tattoo.
for your next one, you should call me first.
Now I can be like, "I bet your artist is fantastic at laying stencils," and they're gonna be like, "Yep,
You only
played
did,
it 4 times."
yes, I did it. Can you beat me?
It makes, you know what, the more times you do it, the better it gets.
Yeah, practice.
Oh man,
Big fan. Big fan.
stencil layer extraordinaire. I'm gonna put that on your business card, Ben.
Why?
You're gonna get your own business cards.
All
They
right.
say Tattoo Collecting 101, professional stencil layer.
Professional stencil.
Oh, applicator.
No,
app-
layer. No,
Practitioner.
you said it right the first time. I'm a stencil layer. It was amazing. Let it flow. It's natural. But to be fair with you, I haven't done it in like 20 years. I can map out some pretty sweet temporary tattoos.
You are getting skilled at that.
I got a pretty good skill set
You're
there.
getting skilled there.
Trick is dry, unoiled skin. Just share with everyone. Saturate the back real well.
Okay, what's the trick to remove them?
Baby oil.
Thank you.
The opposite.
Everybody needs to know.
But
It
see-
should be common knknowledge. Why isn't that on every like?
It is. If you read the instructions, it actually says it on the back. of
Does
most
it?
sets. Yeah.
It didn't when we were kids.
They've learned, Fawn.
Nice.
Chemistry's funny like that.
You know,
But my kid won't let you take them off. It's wear them till they're gone. No, I can still see it. You gotta make it go away. It's my mermaid.
Half the face is still there.
It'd be like speckly spots.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
and they just no. Mermaid sticks.
remember that kid that always had like the bad haircut and like 53 NASCAR tattoos on his arm?
No.
That's your adorable daughter.
Yes. I can absolutely see that. Absolutely. Cool. Yeah.
Little dirt patches everywhere.
Little dirt patches. I kind of want to give her a mullet. Her mom won't let me. I think just
Oh,
one
Ben.
weekend she'll come back with it. Like, I mean, she said she wanted a haircut.
I love Forrest's mullet, but let's let that be Forrest's thing. Well, he's got the rat tail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful red tail. I just want to give her a little side trim. Just fade it back into this.
Mm-mm.
She would be glorious. You can't tell me she would. Can't tell me she would. Give her a little braid up here.
She looked like a Melissa Etheridge
That's
fan.
my point. It'd be amazing. Get her a Shania Twain t-shirt or something.
Little lady golfer.
No. No cleats. No cleats. Okay, so sometimes we go down these little weird rabbit holes about nothing. And it's because we smoke too much.
It happens.
So come on, people, pull us out of the babble. That's what the rest of you are for. Like, hey, what are you doing over there, guys? You're talking about nonsense again.
Todd's been over there hitting his honey badger. He's
Todd's just
Sure.
he's half taking a nap. Like, fucking kid, bro.
Oh. It's been a crazy busy week. I've been tattooing like crazy. I don't have as much gossip as I usually do.
Yeah.
Been kind of just working away.
This is the most exciting thing in my life. So I get to talk about tattoos. That's kind of where my life's.
I do have a family friend.
I had one once.
A family friend.
Yeah.
I don't know if I got any good pictures. I don't think I did.
What'd you do?
She's got this phoenix that, yeah, these are pretty crazy process photos. But she had 2 different artists work on it prior to me. And you know
That's a
what a
privilege.
nightmare that can be. But it's turning out so cool. And like we've made it bigger and there's all these flowing feathers. I'm really happy about how it's evolving. However, it was a rough session on her yesterday. She hurt my heart. Like it was so painful. We were on like the back armpit area. Like we weren't in her armpit, but we were on that back just
Sweet
below.
meats, if you will.
And it had to be that big to hide and camouflage everything that was there. So we're just literally a fully saturated upper sleeve. Oh, she was having such a rough time. My empathy was winning. It was like, let's just go smoke. Let's
just pack some goo.
like,
on
I really,
that makes
let me put it this
numb.
way. I probably actually only worked on her for like maybe 2 hours and 45 minutes, needle and skin time. That's a baby session for me.
That's a, and how long were you actually working on it?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like needle and skin was
Right.
probably like 2 hours and 45 minutes, but like we were just in that one palm sized area back there most of the time. And I zapped the life out of her and I didn't mean to. And here's the thing, after we were done, I was like, I was using like tons of Bactine on you. And I was like doing all the tricks, like taking the time to soak it in. I was like, do they have to give you twice as much Novocaine at the dentist? She's like, every time. I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's it. Maybe next time we're in a spicy spot, I'm just gonna like Zensa her
Okay,
for every little portion.
hear me out. Hear me out.
She was struggling.
I'm in no way a licensed physician or a doctor or anyone you should ever take advice from. We're gonna start this plan. But you can buy lidocaine powder and mix that in with whatever cream or topical.
I don't trust it.
I don't either.
wanna
I'm
make
not telling people
people's
to do this.
I've
I'm just saying,
accidentally
like,
overdosed myself on lidocaine just for the sake
Can
of
you?
like how much can I use, and it really does make your heart real fluttery. It was
Huh.
one of those like, you know,
I
probably
started this
shouldn't
with
drive.
don't listen to me ever.
I probably
Remember
shouldn't drive. Yeah. Oh, but here's the thing. Okay, prenum. You know, we recommend it. Use it as your head start. Don't do it from the top of your shoulders all the way to the bottom of your butt cheeks. That's too much. That's
Yeah.
too much. Half of the back, questionable.
Well,
But the entire
you're-
back and cheekies,
just
too much. That was
That's a
too
lot.
much. Don't do that. Like, no way are you going to get tattooed in that entire
Yeah.
area in
It's just
that
a
amount of
waste.
time. The day that I did it, we were doing like one specific color throughout my whole tattoo. So there was a purpose to do all of it. it was like the one session where we needed to do everything.
That's a little bit more understandable, but the majority of the time, you're not going to get that span
That's
of
going to be
work
like
done.
reasonable size sections.
Right.
Go way off by the time you get there.
Right. You
Mm-hmm.
can apply new areas, have them work where there's other stuff is set, and
Yeah.
work down, apply, work down, apply.
Yeah, but it is weird. And whenever I try anything new, I really like to try new things like that on myself before I try them on clients. So I can
Fair.
prepare my client for what they're going to feel like.
Fair.
I can be honest about what my experience was, pros, cons, all the things. And it was a little nerve-wracking. Like it almost felt like, you know how when you stand up too fast and you get fluttery, you know what I mean? And like it gets a little like tunnel vision and your ears will ring a little bit.
Never. That's never happened to me.
Every time I stand up.
You need to get
That's
that
low
checked out.
blood pressure, buddy. Like, go see someone. Like, ask friends. Like, fuck. Go, like, man, don't do that.
So long
do that.
story short, I felt like that sitting down at rest.
Oh,
Yeah. And it was to the point where I was like, I probably shouldn't drive. I'm just gonna like chill here and hang out at the shop a little longer if somebody's gonna be here working late, and I'll head to the hotel when I feel less fluttery.
right.
So that is like the cautionary. Use it in abundance, but don't use it on 20% of your body.
Seems like a lot.
It was that's probably a fair estimate.
That seems like a lot.
25% maybe.
It
was too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just too much lidocaine, and like you could feel it. So I highly
Okay, so
highly
don't
don't
go buy
recommend.
lidocaine powder and mix it in with your numbing cream.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't listen to Ben.
Fawn said no.
Yeah, it's real.
Fawn said no.
It's real. Don't do it.
But you can buy shit from Canada? No, never mind.
So yes, there is
She
the
said,
custom compound from Canada, which is fantastic. But let's jump back to my armpits.
Okay.
So for the sake of experimentation, we had just started carrying this new product called Zensa.
Love it.
Mm-hmm. And I put the Canada paste on one side, and then the next day I put the Zensa on the other. And I really was skeptic that the Zensa was going to do anything because it was such a different texture from the Canada paste. I like the Zensa more. And here's the kicker. You can reapply the Zensa. So if you take a dinner break or anything like that, you can reapply in the area and let it resaturate. And it doesn't hurt. It's not a vasoconstrictor. And as long as you just wipe the skin dry and like give it just a couple of minutes, it's not like spongy or oversaturated like it can be with some.
Can you use it as like a glide?
No, it's like a lotion consistency. Like the carrier of the
Right. I'm with you.
lidocaines and pains it's like a it's like a lotion. But I highly recommend it. It works so well. You're going to get about the same amount of time of numbness as the Canada paste
Right.
or cake batter.
I've had very good luck with Zenza.
Mhm.
It's very follow the directions. It works. Yeah. Big fan. Sure. But again, it's all in what your artist prefers as well, because I've talked to some artists that are like, I really don't like
Some areas
dealing with
it's
the
just a
mess.
hassle. Yeah, some
don't
areas
like-
it's a little bit more of a hassle.
the skin
Sometimes-
texture change. I don't like, if you're going to use it, use this brand. This is how I prefer to do it. Let me walk you through my process,
Mhm.
because that's their area of expertise. And don't assume.
As a
Have that
tattooer,
conversation. Have that conversation.
this is tattooer talking, not collector talking. As a tattooer, I feel like I definitely prefer for my clients to come in and let me apply the Zensa where we're going to need it. That way we're not wasting it. And then, like I said, like I don't want to run the risk of overdoing it with the lidocaine on somebody.
Right.
So if we can just put it in like the spiciest areas, not all the areas, but the
Right.
spiciest areas. If I'm doing your sleeve, I might not even use it on your elbow, like depending on how you're dealing with pain and how, I've been tattooed a lot. I've tattooed a lot of people, and there's a lot of like tells that somebody could be complaining a lot, but all the signals from their body are
Right.
they're just fine
See, I'm
and
a
they're just
whiner,
not very
but I'll sit
tolerant
down.
of this. And the other thing can happen where somebody sits very stoically and their body's telling me they're about to pass out. They might not have said a word, they
Yeah.
might not have moved, but like
maybe CP.
I'll just all of a
puffy.
sudden feel their temperature drop and their skin will get clammy. And then I look up and their ears will be white. And it's like, let me go get you some Swedish fish.
You need this Capri Sun.
Yeah, there's just everybody's a little bit different, but some areas I feel like it's just more hassle than it's even worth. Like in the time it would take me to numb that, we could be done and on to the next spot.
Right.
Or in the time it would take me to numb that, I could have just like
We'll
back
just-
teamed the area and got it out of the way, and we could have been numbing
The
your
next
wrist.
area.
Yeah, we
like,
could have
let's-
been
let's
numbing
numb
your
the next-
wrist.
I'm a big fan
while-
of like, let's numb the next area while you're working, where you're
Mhm.
working.
That seems to work really well for me, is I'll be working in like
Yes.
the big open areas while like in the armpit. Like, can I call it the armpit ditch? The armpit pancake?
The pit ditch.
The pit stretchy, this piece, that little morsel right there. What do you call that? It's not the armpit yet,
Pit
and it's
ditch.
not the arm or chest. It's like
Arm bone
the,
next to
it's like a,
shoulder bone.
Shoulders.
I don't know, whatever that is.
Meat flap.
That meat flap. So the meat flap, the
Why
front,
is that the one that's stuck? The meat
the
flap.
front, the front and back meat flaps. I've been numbing those up with Zenza as much as I can here lately, just because it's an exhausting area. Like it's pretty spicy there.
You're not being very encouraging to the spots that I have open.
You're tattooed pretty much right up to it. Yeah.
Right up to it. Yep,
Yeah,
you're right.
you
Real
got it.
close.
Right up to it. You're it.
Right
That's
till it
it.
about
creases.
sucks.
That's it. That's the spot.
Same here. Well, we're good, man. Like, we're good.
I bet those lines were so much fun. Those ones.
I mean, as you can tell, they're in there.
They are. They.
They're not raised
They-
at all.
That was probably not a fun day.
Every day's a fun day at the tattoos. There are parts of every day that you're like, the fuck are you doing? And then
Yeah.
you get over
the
it,
start of
and
the
then you
day is
sit
the only
there.
fun part.
and then you leave.
Yeah.
It's fine.
The end is like, all right, I'm a beat up child. I'm
Eh,
defeated. I'm humbled. I thought I was tough. I thought I was smart.
most
I
of
need
the
to
time-
reevaluate all of my life choices.
Most of the time by the end, my adrenaline has kicked in to the point where I'm running on, dopamine, and I go into buzz mode. Like when we stop, I literally get like, "Wah!" As soon as tattoo session's done.
You're like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, like I need a wind down time because
All
I've
right.
been running on chemicals for so long.
No, I'm the other way around.
Bro,
I'm the other
I
way
need a
around.
half hour of like sensory overload.
I just get like a sense of relief. I'm like, okay, great, we're done. And then it just stings for a while. And I'm like, all right, this is
The
just-
sensory overload is real, but it's way more of a like, I am totally defeated and I need to go process what my soul just went through. And why do I do this to myself? And then like, honestly, the night of, usually I don't even care to look at my tattoo or anything. It's not until the next day
Right.
when I'm cleaning it up that I really start to look at it and enjoy it.
I generally leave a band-aid on every night. Leave a tattoo armor on.
Mhm.
Let it do its thing.
I would like to apologize on behalf of myself and the entire tattoo community to all the wonderful housekeepers that clean up our hotel rooms after we get tattoo slime all over our sheets. Jordan, make an appearance. He's checking out.
He be paid.
Hey guys, I miss all of you so much.
Later, Bobby. Let's see you
Have a
soon.
good night. Be safe.
Let's see you soon.
Well, it's about 10 after 8.
It's 10 after 8.
8, well, it's 8:08. It's almost 10 after.
808 kick. Drum.
808.
Wait. Oh, it's like,
So we've been
No,
dabbling
okay.
for a little bit. We've jumped down a few rabbit holes. Is there anything pressing that we need to talk about that we haven't talked about yet?
I don't ever have anything. I always just babble.
That look on your face was like, I don't know if pressing is the word.
I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about stuff. Have we gone through the tattoo collecting Instagram inbox?
The
And looked
pertinent
at-
stuff for now.
All right.
Yeah.
I
I mean, I got a whole stack of morsels in there, but we kind of jumped all over the place today already.
I like morsels. Yeah, we talked about tattoo convention schedules. We
Mhm.
talked about everything. What do you
All
want to
the
do?
things.
Why you gotta?
I think we
why-
should wrap the show up is what I'm hitting at.
Oh,
That's what I'm hitting at. I think we should wrap
I was
up.
like, man, I'm feeling like this burden of responsibility
Yeah.
to fill this airtime. And you're like, nah, bro. Like, I'm just trying to stop.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Lead
like,
with
I feel
that
like this
shit.
Is, yeah, I feel like
You're like, hey,
this
it's a good time to wrap up. It seems like we
Yeah.
covered our topics for
is
the day.
as good a time as any.
She is concluded. They just put me on a roller coaster for no reason, Vaughn.
No, I think this was a great show. Bree, thank
Yeah.
you for taking the
Amazing
time to
talk.
join
Yeah,
us.
absolutely.
Thank you
Like
so
this
much for
is-
having me.
Thank you for sharing all your work with us.
Yeah,
It's
it is
beautiful,
beautiful.
and it's awesome to see a collector that's really putting in the work and just going through what it takes to collect beautiful work. It's a challenge, and it's something that we're all, we're all on that same journey together.
Absolutely.
I love celebrating it. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. I love sharing mine with you and I love admiring yours as well. And so it's been awesome that anybody appreciates your work, that you've, put all this time and energy and effort into, and it is a lot. So it's when it's appreciated and we can all share it with each other and compare and have a blast doing it. It's a good time.
Oh, yeah, group hug.
Yeah.
all right, guys. Well, tune in next week. We'll have episode 91. I'm super baked right now, so I'm not sure what we've got going on, but it's going to be
We got
fantastic.
episode 91 going on, Vaughn. That's what we got going on.
I mean, worst case scenario, we have fun.
You always have fun.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's why I keep showing up. That's the only reason I'm here.
All right, guys. Well, everybody stay safe, and
Jay,
we will
Todd,
see you
thanks.
next
Love you
week.
guys.
Thanks for taking the time to join
See you
us.
soon.